could you explain a little bit the difference between scarcity and abundance? Because the first time I heard those terms, I never heard of those terms. So maybe you can explain.
Well, sure, I would love to. I think that we're all now moving into a new level of consciousness in how we do everything. In terms of how we live our lives, in terms of our relationships, in terms of, and that also leads into being really conscious about money. And one of the first things that pops up when you become more aware of how you think about money is how you think about, is that the fact that a lot of our thoughts about it are rooted in scarcity. The concept that there's not enough money, there's not enough to go around. If you have more, then I'll have less, and those are you know, really deeply rooted also in our culture. Yeah. And then on the other hand, from a more higher consciousness level, and from a are the concepts rooted in abundance, and thoughts and energy rooted in abundance, and that's the feeling that everything is possible, that there is enough. That we're all connected to a source, to a never-ending source. Yeah. And so I think that when we as parents become more aware of the difference between scarcity and abundance, and want to move into a higher consciousness, and take our children with us, into thoughts of abundance, and then the whole topic of money and our kids come into play. I think it's a really interesting interesting dynamic. It's certainly not necessarily my area of expertise per se. I mean, but I'm a mother. Yeah, you're a mother. We have kids. Yeah. We're working on staying in an abundance, a conscious and abundance mindset all the time, and seeing how that plays out with our kids, right? Yeah. And it's still like this playing ground where you really need to. Yeah, it's new ground. Like you really have to discover the new, not the new rules, but because, for instance, I came from a family that we didn't have like very much money, and I later realized when I did a boost camp with Lisa that my thinking was I had real scarcity mindset, and I wasn't aware of the fact that the mindset was of influence of my situation. You know, that the way I thought about it would, you know, actualize the way I run my business. Absolutely. Or ran my business. I hope I'm a bit more conscious now. You're absolutely much more conscious. I mean, come on, look what you're creating in the world now. Look at the, wow. Yeah, no, I think, our thoughts, the way our thoughts drive our behavior. Yeah. And as a result, that and our behavior and our actions lead to our results, right? So that's the way it goes. You think something, you feel, well, you think something, you feel something, you act, and you get a result. And so, when your mindset around money is rooted in scarcity, then you're not gonna have the results that you'd like to see in your money.
No,
absolutely. No. So, and when, you know, I also grew up in a situation where there wasn't loads of money, and it really can have an influence in how you perceive the world as a kid. You know, that you think that things aren't possible. I mean, I don't know, what are the mantras or the thoughts, the things that you heard over and over about money when you were a kid?
Yeah, well, the most I think I like you said, I did accept the situation, you know, because you don't know any better. And even when I knew there were like my family, a few of them had like big houses and stuff, so I did see the difference. And but I wasn't unhappy about it. No, because I was a happy kid and I had great parents. So so it's but just later on, I realized that yes, to go to another level of yeah, maybe to learn to live more in this abundant state where you are not expecting the worst all the time.
Yeah,
that's what I had. Like,
yeah,
okay, I'm doing all I can, you know, but I will. If in the end, it will just blow up in my face, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely a limiting belief, to think that there's not, you know, that it won't work out for me. Yeah, that's a very deep, that can be a deeply rooted limiting belief. But what I think is important that you were just talking about also is that kids adapt, you know. They don't, and they absorb everything. So we have a lot of influential power, obviously, to help our children to have a relationship with money that's rooted in abundance. We really do. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that, because I do notice that I noticed it in my kids, certainly, and then you know, I have teenagers. And I don't know, I mean, your kids are a little bit younger, right?
Yeah, they're 14 and 11.
Yeah, and my kids are 17 and 19. So there is definitely, you know, we talked a little bit about scarcity, and our culture is extremely commercialistic. There's a lot of commercial drivers, and our kids are very susceptible to that. So there's definitely an energy, or almost a learned behavior around instant gratification. Yeah, and that is definitely an idea and a feeling that's rooted in scarcity. It's as if, well, if I don't do it now, I'll never be able to do it, or it will be gone, or the opportunity, I won't be able to, you know, if I don't buy this, I don't know, okay, if I don't buy this new game now, I won't be able to buy it later, or I will have to, you know, I'll be one of the kids that doesn't have the game. That's a conscious, that's really rooted in scarcity. So it's almost driving an instant gratification, like, I've got to have it now, I've got to have it now.
And is that, do you think that's because of all because that's what you know, reclame, what was it?
Marketing and advertising.
Was
absolutely.
When I worked at advertising agencies, this was the topic, you know.
Yes, of course. You have to create scarcity in order to get people to buy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's really important to, you know, okay, I talk to entrepreneurs all the time, so, you know, it's important as an entrepreneur to decide how you want to deal with that, how you want to deal with your marketing. But right now, it's important for us as parents, I think, to help our children. Let's just say, be able to deal with or look at this concept of instant gratification, and wanting to be able, and being able to have a more longer term perspective. Because I mean, if there's anything that I can say about you know, your relationship with money, and being able to have a healthy relationship with money, and being able to grow wealth and create wealth, is it's really important to have a sense of to get over that instant gratification, and be able to have a longer term perspective, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to spend my money now because I got to have it now, to be able to buy the things that are really important, save money, so that in the future you can allow that money to grow, so you can have anything you want. Yeah, that's the concept of wealth creation.
But it does sound like a little contradictory, you know, like because, you know, our kids live in the Western world. They have everything. They can have, like, press the button and everything comes their way. Yeah. And on the other hand, we have to teach them to, you know, like you say, work, save. So that, how do you know the difference as a parent? Because just before I came to you, I read this article about this. Like, they live in this world where they have an abundant world, you know. Yeah, because if I did at my youth, that wasn't an abundant world.
Well, it depends. What do you mean by abundant? They have an abundant world. They have an abundance of information.
Yeah.
They have an abundance of distraction.
Yeah.
They have an abundance of opportunities to buy stuff.
Yeah.
They have an abundance of.
Yeah, but they do have more money, of course. They also have more money.
They can. Yeah. And especially if we teach them how to create it and how to manage it.
Yeah.
So let's take a step back. So I think as parents, well, first of all, one of the most important things is to help our kids understand the difference between giving and receiving. I think that's really important. Okay, when you talk about money, money has three phases. You give money, you receive money, and you have it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's talk about, so kids. Yeah. So if they're doing something to help others, or they're contributing value, then it's really good. I mean, even at a young age, to help children understand that there's an exchange that happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that but also that it's also, that you want to also help them. So I mean, we can get into a discussion about how you deal with allowance for kids. That could be an interesting conversation. I'm not, I have a certain perspective. How do you look at giving your kids allowance?
Well,
we're kind of all over the place now.
We have like this arrangement that they would get allowance every week, but we forget it almost every week. So it's but on the other hand, we do like when they do some stuff, like my son is doing a kind of program at this moment, and he needs to do it twice a day, every day. So I said to him, how can we keep you motivated, and it feels for you that you're earning it, so he said to me, and I said to him, you can wait until the program is over, or you can have it like every week and maybe have this like glass jar, and then put in every week the money, so you can see it grow, and so it keeps you motivated. And that's maybe it's a bit of a bribe, it's but it's also a motivator to just to
incentivize his focus, his determination, his dedication. Listen, if he recognizes that, and you do that, I mean, and I think that's an amazing thing to see it growing in the jar. And especially, I think it could especially help if he then decides what kind of so then the question becomes, how do we coach our children in what he will do with that money that he's received? So first, that he can receive it, that he recognizes the exchange. Like, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to receive money. The gratefulness for, wow, I did my thing. I received this money. He sees it grow. That he can receive it. And then the question is to coach him on what he will do with it. And that's an interesting one as well, because and that's where maybe it's a good thing we can connect then this topic of the delayed gratification, because what happens a lot of times, I know my kids, especially when they were little, the older they are, now I'm recognizing that they get a little bit more selective. When they were little, they would walk around in the toy store and they would want everything. Everything. Or, and I mean, of course, there's, it's like the whole toy store is designed to get your children to want to have everything there. But so what we used to do is we used to say, choose the thing that you really like to have. And then they would make a list. Make a list. And then, but we would say, and then what we'll do is when you will, we usually made a deal, especially if it was something like a little bit more expensive, that they would save part of it, and we would help with part of it. So we were contributing, and they were contributing with part of their allowance. And actually, we continue to do that in a lot of respects. But that they had to actually really feel as if they still really wanted it, because a lot of times what would happen is they would come home, and then the following week, if I asked them what the most important thing was that they wanted that was on the list, they wouldn't even remember anything.
No. that's the case with my boys. They just forget, and then it's not important anymore. No.
And that's such a good lesson for them to realize that they have the, it's more of an emotional driver in that moment that's causing the desire to have something right now.
Yeah.
And it's interesting sometimes as adults. I mean, come on. I mean, we to distinguish between whether it's something I really want right now or there's some sort of emotion underneath it that's pushing that. And if you take a time out, you say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna if I still want it in a week, I do this with myself. If I still remember, if I still really am like, that's it, then I'll say, okay, I'll go out and buy it.
Yeah, or then it's gone.
Well, usually
you should have bought it right away.
God. Well, hey, listen, I'm of the mindset that if it's not there anymore, then it wasn't meant to be. Then that's my belief and trust in the universe that if I'm supposed to actually, then it will still be there.
Yeah.
But okay. Hey, if it was one of a lifetime, hey, you gotta take things one step at a time, right? Yeah. But in any case, this is really a good way. You can really let kids have a feel of really evaluating whether it's an emotional reaction, like I gotta have it right now, or if it's something that they really, really, truly want. Yeah. And it's important, I think as parents, it's important for us to help them develop that conscious awareness of the difference in the two feelings.
Yeah. And what do you think about work? Like, for instance, when I was about maybe 11 years old, I started walking, not papers, but those, those folders.
And, delivering.
And when I was 14, I worked in the marketplace, and I always made my own money.
Yeah.
But now I do see, with my children, I do want them to give them the freedom to choose. But I also think it's important that they will value the that they learn that you have to work for money.
Well, okay. Well, I think that's important to make a distinction here, because the idea of working for money can get you in a little bit of trouble. I coach a lot of. I personally grew up with actually a limiting belief that you have to work really, really hard for money.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what you want, I think, what we want to a more supportive idea for our kids is to give them the idea that you want to create value. You want to do something to help others. So to make them conscious of what value they're creating. So you were bringing around the newspapers and putting them in. You were creating value. You probably were like, but come on, as that you could say, okay, why do you think it's important that you do this work?
Yeah.
How are you helping the people? Yeah, they don't have to go to the store and buy their newspaper. No, it was actually, let's not make it too complicated.
Yeah.
But you were delivering newspapers and the local paper through the mailbox. So you were helping them. You were delivering value. You were helping them.
Yeah.
And then you got paid for that. As opposed to the fact that you were working really, it was probably hard. I know that you get up early in the morning and have to do that. So it was, you had to make a conscious choice to say, yes, I'm going to create value and this is what I'm going to do, and that you receive the money. And I think that's something really valuable that children can learn at a young age. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. No. I know my little neighbors over here, they come by and they ring the doorbell and they want to know if we have a little job they can do so they can earn a quarter or something, So we have a glass thing here next here, and they take a wheelbarrow and not a wheelbarrow, like their wagon, they put glass in there. It's safe, don't worry. They're a little bit older, they're not too young, but so they're understanding the value of give and take. And the older they get, it's interesting that they that our children at least have started to discover that certain things that they can do have more value, and certain other things have maybe have less value and you'd earn less money doing them. So I remember that my daughter, you know, a lot of people might think that that we would just give our children everything. We definitely want to instill in them the understanding of creating value and receiving money. So our daughter, I remember, she wanted to go on vacation. Her first vacation without us, all right? Because she's 19 now, so I guess she was like 17. And she wanted to go on vacation. And we said, okay. She had just finished her like senior year, which was really, really hard. You know, I mean, it was really, really working really hard. So earning a lot of money working next to study would be difficult. So we said, okay, here's what we'll do. She was going to work for a few months. And then we said, okay, whatever you earn, we'll match.
Okay.
We'll match.
Yeah.
We'll help you get there. Now, I had never seen her so motivated to find a job that was going to pay her money, because she was finished school. So she had like 3 months before she was going to go on this vacation. She would have, first of all, she discovered that if she went and worked someplace in a, you know, making coffee. Okay, that she would be paid this amount. And then she discovered that if she worked as a temp if she had a temporary job in a sort of administrative support role, she earned this much money. She was like, oh, this is interesting. There's obviously, they're willing to pay more for this type of work. So she took a job here at the place. She worked her butt off for like 3 months, earned her money, and went on a fabulous vacation.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and the interesting thing was she was so proud of herself. That she was earning money and making these decisions and working it all out, how much she really needed. She made a little budget for herself.
Oh, that's cool.
I was really
Yeah.
So how did we get on that topic? Now we got a little distracted, but we were talking about instilling value in our children, conscious value, conscious awareness of the value of giving and receiving. That is really.
And I just want to show, this is the article. It's of course then it's digital version.
We have a screen over here. That's why we're looking down here sometimes, guys. But you can see the questions and the comments down there too.
And this is an article that's been written by another member of our group, Carolina, who's also contributing to the magazine every time. And she wrote an article about teaching your children to receive. And that's not, of course, only money, or the other way around. Receiving in a broader sense. And one of the things she wrote down, and I really like this one, is like, teach our children to accept all compliments with an open heart, just saying thank you for the compliment without any excuses. I've done that so much.
Teaching your kids.
But I've done it like,
me too.
Oh no, don't bother, you know, like always
pushing it away,
pushing it,
dismissing it. You know, it's really, you know, when I always say that how you deal with money is a mirror. Okay, I know maybe we've even had conversations about that in the magazine before. How you deal with money is a mirror for how you think about yourself. And I mean, without a doubt, if you have trouble receiving compliments, you'll have trouble receiving money. No question. This is a fantastic tip. Thank you, Carolina. It's a fantastic tip, and you know, as adults, maybe we might need to work on this as well, because it just demonstrates whether or not you're able to receive. And I think also she also mentioned in one of those things about gratitude, right? I know, because gratitude.
Let's teach our children to count their blessings. Gratitude is a state of mind, a way of seeing life, noticing and relating to life. To be grateful is to be receptive to life's givingness, life's abundance.
Exactly.
So that's so beautiful.
It is beautiful. Gratitude is the energy of receiving. So because you're recognizing everything that you are receiving at the moment, like being grateful that we're here and that we're able to, in freedom, sitting here in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon, being able to have this conversation together to help other people. I mean, I'm super grateful for that. I'm grateful for the fact that you helped me, you know, put my message out, that I can help you put your message out. I mean, grateful for everybody who's watching. You know, it's just so we can receive, so that we can give more. it's really important.
Yeah, and it is something to teach your children. I do it sometimes with my youngest son, or I'm trying to. Sometimes I forget but when he was a little bit, he was going through a phase, and I said to him, I'm going to make you a little note on your bed. You know, he has his bed that sits underneath, so in a cave, like a cave. And then and I said, you have like you're going to say thank you for 3 things every night before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I really saw him, you know, he was really at the 3rd day, he said, oh, I forgot my 3 things to say thanks for, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And we never did that before. So it's to be conscious. I must say it's not, you know, the routine yet, but it's something I'm conscious about, and I want to I could implement that a little bit more, and I try to do that with a lot of other stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and kids are so they absorb everything. So if you can keep him in that routine of doing that every day, it really does make a significant difference in your mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that, for example, when I'm coaching coaching women, and they have because what happens is you're training your brain then to look for the good, as opposed to looking for the bad.
Yeah.
So when you have a mindset set in scarcity or negativity, if you really practice gratitude for a good at least 21 days, actually, you know, new science says that you should do it a little bit longer, but start with the 21 days. You will absolutely positively notice a difference in your overall mental state of mind, because you're developing new neural pathways to look for the good, as opposed to looking for the bad. And it can take a while, but it really does make a difference.
Yeah,
it really
it
does.
absolutely does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I think we're going to wrap it up. I just want to say one more thing. I maybe we've talked about this in the past, that when I started to use this gratitude rock in my in my trousers, I put it there, and when I touched it, you know, it was like, okay, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that. And that was in the movie Lion from The Secret, and I really like that idea.
That is a great idea.
Yeah, and now I even have, like, when I put on my trousers, I do like this, you know.
It's in there now?
No, it's not. But I tap it, because I'm so conditioned now to tap it and think about it. Yeah. So now I only have to tap it and I'll think about it.
Exactly. It's like part of your physiological system now.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome, right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
so we can teach our children that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you very much, Lisa. And well, I hope you liked it. Just let us know what you think, and if you want to see some more in the future. So this Wednesday, Ownit magazine will be published, and I will put a link in our group too. And thank you, Lisa.
I'm very happy to be here. Happy to share and talk to you about abundance and money and kids. Yes, conscious parenting. Thanks. See you next time.
Bye bye.